We all have our own school stories growing up. I mean, school is practically a part of our entire young lives, but with that many years under our belts, there are bound to be some crazy situations to come out of it. Hey guys, my name's TheFearRaiser, and in today's video, I thought it would be a fun idea to take a look back at my top 5 most craziest school stories. If you're new to my content, you'll find that there are quite some stories here on this channel that are very real and are also quite bizarre, if I do say so myself. So be sure to stick around to watch these 5 stories of mine, as there are a few that are pretty insane. Regardless, I'll let you guys watch these animated stories now, so enjoy! Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to another awkward, or should I say intense, story that I'm going to tell you today. This intense school fight that I wasn't in, but my friend was. So, let's give this friend a name. Let's call him Tommy B. Tommy B. Jones. Okay. So Tommy B. Jones, alright, a friend of mine. He was kind of getting, I don't want to say picked on, but like teased a little bit by this big guy. This big guy was named, let's call him Sam. So Tommy B. Jones was getting really frustrated with this guy. So one day, okay, he was like, I'm gonna fight you. Me and you, we're gonna fight. And I'm just like, saying to myself, I'm like, whoa, Tommy B. Jones, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that, man. You can't even fight. This guy, and he couldn't fight. That was the funny thing. He actually could not fight. He cannot fight. He can't. He can barely walk properly. I'm not saying he has a physical problem. He's literally just retarded, and he just, well, that's really not helping my defense here. Anyways, I was like, bro, don't do it. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. Lunchtime struck. I went home. I walked home for lunch, and I came back. Turns out Tommy B. Jones and Sam already got in this massive fight. And what had happened was, you know, everybody was like in the class. They were like, oh man, Tommy B. Jones and Sam are fighting. Oh man, it's gonna get intense. Oh, and then this is when shit got downtown. So Tommy B came in first, and the entire class got up, alright? Went right to the door, and they're like, yo man, you gotta punch him out, you gotta punch him out, you gotta get revenge, you gotta beat him, you gotta punch him, do it! And I'm there like, no, don't do it. You know what, I can't, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I didn't really help the situation either. I was kinda like, you know, you should totally punch him. He was like getting really worked up. Like, he was getting ready to do some shit. Sam walks in. The whole class is just surrounding Tommy B. Tommy B just looks at him. He followed him, like, the second Sam had, like, passed him, he did, like, a sneak attack or some shit. Like, he immediately went stealth mode right behind his back. And what he did, okay, as everyone watched in silence, Tommy took the most dramatically ridiculous swing that I have ever seen. That miss, by the way. The punch wasn't even a punch, it was just stupid. Sam had literally pulled like this wrestling move. He like turned around, grabbed his arm, he swung him down, okay, took his head and slammed it into a desk, like right there in front of everyone. And he just walked out of class. He just walked right out of the class. Bam. Tommy's there. He gets up, and there was a guy standing in front of him. He's like, whoa, man, are you okay? And he stopped. And his face was in shock. I was like, oh, shit. Tommy turned to me. Oh, my God. There was blood. Like, half of his face was covered in blood. Blood was just pouring down his face. And I was like, holy shit. Okay, we need to get you to the hospital. Holy crap. But with that being said, guys, that is my awkward story, or intense. That wasn't even awkward. It was just incredibly crazy school story. Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Jordan of TheFearRaiser, and here today, I'm gonna... Okay, you know what? I should probably finish this mint before I tell this story. I love mints. I eat them like candy. Okay, alright, that's better. But here today, guys, I'm going to be telling you a story about something that happened in my younger life about 5 years ago. Wait, no, 6 years ago. Oh my god, I'm getting old. Back in grade 10, back in high school, okay, I got my first crush, and, you know, I really liked her. But anyways, you know, I got to know her better, and then, you know, I eventually became friends with her. But as time went on, you know, I wanted more, you know. I wanted to take it to the next level. And the next level wasn't asking her out. The next level was, well, to me anyways, was asking for her MSN account username. That's right, I asked what her MSN was, but, you know, I got her MSN, and, you know, I started to talk to her more. And, well, you know, we spoke every night, and I remember I used to get so excited to talk to her on MSN and just chat with her. And, you know, I was starting to get a little more brave. But at the same time, I wasn't too sure if I wanted to take it to the next level, which was, you know, asking her out. Because, again, I was shy, I had never gone out with a girl before. And I remember that I was a little sly. I asked if she would like to hang out outside of school. And this was where things got a little weird for me, because I liked this girl, but her response to me asking her if she'd like to go outside or hang or something was not what I wanted to hear, which was essentially, I don't know, like, maybe we could hang out or something, I don't know, like, I think she said, like, she'll see, and I didn't take that the right way. I took that as she doesn't like me. But, you know, I kept trying, and I feel like this was, like, the first time I ever experienced the friend zone. It was becoming really obvious that I was getting weird signs that she didn't like me as much as I kind of liked her. And I remember there was one faithful night, I sat down on my computer and I was like, I'm gonna do it. This is the night. I'm going to find out. And I was so nervous. I sat down sweating. I was like, I'm gonna do it. And then, like, I typed it out. Do you think you'd ever want to go on a date with me? I typed that out on my MSN. And I remember I just kept looking at it. I just needed to hit enter. I just needed to hit that button, and it was gonna send, and there was no turning back. But I didn't do it. So I remember I told one of her friends that I liked her, and I asked her if she could maybe find out if she's interested in me. And obviously I regretted this back then. I don't regret it now. I remember I asked her if she could find out for me, and then she got back to me. And she told me that this girl I had a crush on looked at me like a brother. She didn't look at me any other way other than like a friend, a brother, whatever, like the typical, I don't like him, but I like him as a brother. Just really, just not something, you know, you want to hear. I really didn't take it very well. I remember for like 2 weeks, I actually sank into like a really bad depression. There was one faithful day where I ended up meeting a girl, and after these 2 weeks, and she's now my girlfriend. Literally after 2 weeks of being in depression, I actually met a girl who's now currently my girlfriend, and that was 6 years ago. So, you know, a sad story that turned into a happy ending, and I don't regret it. I mean, looking back then, I regretted the decisions that were made, but now I don't, because that was just not a good, like, it was very obvious that it wasn't meant to be, and I accepted that. Oh, good old high school stories. Okay. So, when I was in high school, you know how the drill is. You know, you go to school, you do your work, and then, you know, comes the midterms and the finals. I remember, you know, it was a Wednesday. I slept in thinking that the test was on Thursday. But no, it was on Wednesday. So I got a call when I was sleeping. I was sleeping in. I got a call about 10 o'clock. She's like, Jordan. I'm like, yeah. She's like, don't you have an exam today? And I'm like, oh, no, that's tomorrow. No, it's right now, actually. What did you just say? My final was happening as I was still half dead in my bed. So, of course, I bust into the final gym room, the gym room where everybody was. Everybody's staring at me. So that was awkward enough. Everyone's like, what the fuck? Look at this guy. Why isn't he here? Well, he's only here now. So, I sit down. I'm kind of panicky, but I start the test. Then, and this was like a moment in time where I feel like it's like one of those movies where the main character sees weird shit, but no one else does. And he gets weirded out. Except, in my situation, I was sitting down, doing the final, and somebody let out the biggest fart ever in the gym room. Now, I don't know why I didn't see anyone else laughing or grinning, because I looked around when it happened, like anyone would, and it's like I was the only one that heard it. But the thing was, though, it was so funny that I actually started laughing while I'm doing my final. So when you're like laughing at something and you're trying not to like be loud about it, you're trying to cover your mouth, and like when you're class, you're like that was me in my final, full of people in a gym, and I was crying, I was holding my breath because I was choking because I was laughing so hard, and I was getting looked at and stuff, and it was bad. And on top of all of this cringe, my freaking phone alarm went off in the middle of the final. It's like, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, and then people just look, and I'm like, oh no, oh! And I whip out my phone, I'm like, my life's over, and I just put it on silent, and the teacher's looking at me, and I just immediately have the phone in my hands, pointed to the teacher. I'm like, take it. And they're like, just put it in your pocket, it's cool. I'm like, oh. So I was super embarrassed. It was a very bad experience. Yes, very bad, very awkward experience during my final. But regardless, I passed it, blah, blah, blah. It's another day. I move on. Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Jordan, or TheFearRaiser, and I've got a new story for you all coming straight from the memory banks, the deep storage section, where I will be telling you a rather graphical story, and this story is pretty intense. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little much, but nonetheless, still a bit of an interesting story I want to tell you guys. I'm gonna get right into the story now. So guys, this story, like I said, is intense, and it takes place back in junior high. It actually had happened, I believe, either grade 7 or grade 8, but I was in tech class. You all know what tech class is. You go into that classroom, the computer lab, and you spend that like hour in the computer lab doing absolutely nothing, even though you're supposed to be working. But some teachers, they just don't care, and you just end up playing video games, right? And there was this one day where my class was in the computer lab, and I looked behind me and saw like 4 or 5 guys in our class surrounding each other around a computer. And I was kind of like, well, yo, what's going on over there? I'm a little interested. So I remember I got up to go over and see what they were doing, because they were starting to get a crowd going on, and then whatever they were looking at on the internet, they closed out because the teacher was coming in. And, I was just like thinking, yo, are you guys watching like porn or something? What's going on, man? Like, it was kind of weird. It was like, what could you guys possibly be looking at right now that would make you turn the screen off away from the teacher if it wasn't like some kind of sexual content or something, right? But it turns out it wasn't. And I had asked what they were looking at, and they wouldn't tell me. They just said, go on this website. And I'm not going to tell you the website, because this was a very, very terrible website, very graphical. But they told me the name of this website. So, me being innocent back then, again, back in my junior high days, but essentially I'd gone home, and I had a computer in my room, and I typed in this website. And no, this website was not a porn site or anything sexual like that. But no, in fact, this was much worse than your average porn site. This was something that I'll admit really messed me up for the longest time. And essentially on this website, it was essentially a blog that posted pictures and videos of real life deaths. Essentially, the website it was a blog site that posted videos of people legitimately dying in gruesome, terrifying, horrible ways, very gory, or pictures of whatever death had occurred all over the world. And I don't know if this is even a legal thing. I went on this website, and curiosity, it was killing me. All right, I'll admit it messed me up, but I couldn't look away. It was so, as dark as this sounds, it was terrifying, but yet intriguing in a sense. And I'm not saying that because I'm into that stuff. It was just like, I have never seen anything so gruesome before. And being a young kid, my curiosity kind of dwelled deeper into this site. So I remember I was on this site and I was scrolling down, and each post was worse and worse. And then there was this video. It was essentially a real life recording, and I don't know if it was from Al-Qaeda or ISIS or some terrorist group over in the Middle East, but it was essentially video footage of somebody getting their head cut off while they were still alive. And it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. And it really, really messed me up because I didn't know what it was, and it was real. Okay, so in high school, we had a gym teacher who was replaced, and the gym teacher we had that was replaced was an awesome guy. He was really cool. He was probably like 25, he's just starting his teaching career as a gym teacher, and it was awesome. But unfortunately, he had to leave. I don't really remember the reason, but he had to go. So that was grade 11, I think. But either way, so he was replaced by a new gym teacher. And what made this new gym teacher strange and very off-putting is that he had this look to him, right? He had this beard. He looked like he looked like a really rough soccer coach. I'm not even, I don't know if that's a great picture, but just picture this guy, his black hair, he's just got a really rough, scruffy facial hair, slightly bald, probably in his 40s, and he was the new gym teacher. Now, at the time, I hadn't been doing gym anymore because I was at a gym for the last year or two afterwards. But yeah, so it was weird. What was going on, and I can't say this to 100% accuracy because there are bits and pieces I feel that are missing, but I'm gonna remember this the best I can. There was a bunch of girls in the coach's, room in the gym. He had his own little office, and I'm pretty sure the coach was the leader of, I don't know if it was cheerleading, I don't know if it was rugby, it was something. He was the coach or whatever of all these girls. And apparently what had happened was that these girls had gone into his office and he had turned all the lights off. So apparently started giving them back massages and giving them flowers, I think. And that's strange, that's awkward, and that rippled through the school so quick. The day of, I'm pretty sure the next day after, he was fired immediately. He was touching these girls, and he was massaging them and giving them what is that? Oh, hey, you did a great job today. You girls want some massages. You want some back rubs, and here's some flowers. It's totally plutonic though. Means nothing. I'm just showing my appreciation, just relax. Yeah, that's great. No, that's it. Seriously, it was weird, okay? This was our gym teacher who went from weird looking guy to pedophile. And it was insane. It was crazy. Luckily, I didn't have to deal with this, but man, oh man, it was a crazy story to leave high school with. Well, guys, what you think? Some crazy stories, right? School for me definitely had its strange situations in my experience, but hopefully you enjoyed some of these stories. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe if you love cartoons and you'd love to see more. And be sure to check out some of the great animations on this channel as well. Alright guys, Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, bye-bye!